going on, everybody? Ryan from H&S Motorsports here. We're out here at Glen Helen Raceway. We're going to be testing these bikes, going over them, telling you our thoughts, what riders have told us, what parents have told us. We're going to compare it to last year's model, the Orion 2023 or Gen 1, with the 24 model Gen 2. And we also have a Stacyc as well, so we can kind of show you some of the size comparisons between the two. But before we get into that, these kids are ready. They want to go rip this track. So come on, let's go race. All right, tell me when. Yeah? All right, guys, so we're gonna go ahead and test the 20 inches right here. We have the Orion 23 model, 48 volt, 20 inch. We have the new 2024 model, 48 volt, 20 inch right here. And right here, our little test rider is still learning. He's testing his Stacyc 20 inch right here. Just got a little aftermarket battery adapter, still same voltage. So this is pretty much all stock out of the box. So we're gonna do a little lap. And then after this, we're gonna swap you guys and we're gonna see how the bikes work with each one of you, okay? Let's make sure all the bikes are on and ready. You're in race mode. You're good. All right. I'll drop my hand. When I drop my hand, then we'll go, okay? Riders ready? Watch my hand. Go. All right, guys, now we went ahead and rode the bikes. We switched riders. We saw that. Now let's go over some of the results and kind of let's compare. You'll notice that we didn't use the starting gate for these bikes, and that was kind of on purpose because I wanted to start on a flat ground so you could see the difference in the bikes and the battery technology. That's really what's changed. So right off the bat, you'll see bigger tires. They're a little bit thicker. They're better. The down tube right here is bigger on the new 2024 model versus last year's model, the 23. This was a 4 amp hour 48 volt battery. Now it's a 48 volt 8 amp hour battery. So this is going to give you up to 48 hour runtime depending on where you're riding, your conditions, weight of the rider. So out here at the track, we're averaging about 2.5 hours of solid riding. So that's great compared to other bikes. You know, before this one would go anywhere from 45 minutes to about an hour and a half, depending on the rider. So definitely a big upgrade. The graphics on this one are baked into the paint and it is clear coated over. This one, it did come with a graphics sheet. Again, not a huge deal, but those are some of the nice fit and finishes. This model was a special model that we got. This was an early Gen 1 model. That's why it has the adjustable stem and the upgraded foot pegs. The stock ones came with a fixed bar clamp similar to this style here with a bar riser. So these are some of the differences on these ones. Now, it does have the same 500 watt hub motor, 48 volt battery, but The big difference here is the battery. It has a LiFePO4 battery. These ones have a lithium ion. So when you saw out of the gate, this bike was much faster on the bottom end because those lithium ion batteries have a lot more punch. But the LiFePO4 is better because they are a lot more stable and you are able to discharge them more and further to get a longer runtime out of them. So Orion does have race batteries coming out that are going to be lithium ion. I believe they're going to be 60 volts. So that'll definitely bring up the speed on this and will be faster than these. So if you have one of these models and you upgrade to this, just know that that bottom end is going to be a little bit different compared to what you're used to. Now, you can see the down tube has been increased. This bike, it does have a low seat. We'll go ahead and drop this one down. So we'll put them both as low as they go. Oh, this one does go as low as you get to go. So you can see this 20-inch here is a little bit lower than previous models, which is going to be good, but the bike was stretched out a little bit more. So the riser bar here, you can actually loosen it up, bring it closer into the rider if you want to give them more of a comfortable feel. So you can see the difference there with this bike. Now let me take this bike down since we've seen the difference. They both have front forks, suspension forks. They both have front and rear disc brakes. So, you know, those are going to be the main differences there. So let me put this one down and then we'll show you a couple things on the display, some of the other upgrades. All right, so now that we went ahead and put the other Orion on the floor, the last year's model, I'm going to show you a couple things with this one that I want you to be aware of. Now, the LCD display right here, everything is controlled through here, so this is awesome. I really like this. You can change your speed mode settings, everything on here versus last year's model. Now, you could see all the speed mode functions are here. So push the power button on the far left, and then the plus and minus button is how you change speed modes. Now this has 3 speeds plus race mode. So this bike here is in race mode. So this is something that some parents have given me some concern about that I want you guys to all be aware of. So we're in speed mode 3, full speed. We're hitting roughly 27, 28 miles an hour. Now, because it's in race mode, if you put it in gear 2, you're gonna see you're still getting that same speed, 27, 28 miles an hour. So be aware, once you put it in race mode, it's gonna stay in race mode. Even when you turn it off and turn it back on, it's not gonna change. That speed is still gonna stay the same. There is no speed 4, it doesn't turn to R for race mode, so just be aware. And as of right now, that's the only way to check if this bike is in race mode. Now, the other part, as I said, you can change the speed modes for 1 through 3 on this display. So right now, if we're in speed 1, what you can happen is when the rider goes, they can change the speed mode on the fly. So while they're riding, we're gonna simulate them riding, we're gonna go to gear 2, and then you can see the speed is actually gonna increase. And then we'll go to 3, and the speed goes up. So you can change the speed on the fly of the bike. There is no lockout. I know Orion says that this does teach responsible riding, which it does, but you also want to be aware of the fact that if they take off and they want to go ahead and chase the ice cream truck down the street, they can go ahead into speed 3 real quick. Now, they can't go into race mode. You do have to go into some programming sequence. We have another video on that showing you how to go into race mode, but just be aware those are 2 changes that some people have voiced their concerns to me regarding newbie riders. So those are going to be some of the big differences between the 2. And then what I'll do also is I will bring a Stacyc 20-inch over here that we have, and we'll put it right next to it, and we'll kind of show you some of the differences between the 2 of the bikes. So right off the bat, it was much easier to pick this bike up because this weighs roughly 33, 35 pounds for the 20-inch launch edition. The Orion here, we're looking about 48 pounds. Now this is partly because it does have the larger 8 amp hour battery here, and it does have the rear hub motor. And with the Stacyc 20, it has just the mid-drive motor and a battery right here. Now this is the same 40 volt battery. This is just an adapter we use because we run the aftermarket Greenworks batteries, but you can see the difference in the bikes here. Manitou forks, so you know this is really a great option, but at the time of buying this one, this roughly was $3,300. This one is only in the $1,700 range, so you can definitely see that this does come in at a better value, as well as with the screen display. So one last main point to talk about the Orion 20, you'll see that the angle of the steer tube right here and the front has actually been changed. It's been brought in just a couple degrees, because if you'll look, and I'll go ahead and put this Orion 20 back up here. The angle on this one was out a little bit further. Now, this did cause some frames right here to crack. You'll see there's a hole on this side where there is supposed to be cables going through here, and then on the other side. So the angle of this actually would cause the frame to break right here. So this is a huge upgrade over this one because the factory has done more research into that. And you can see it's also a larger stem as well and really beefed up the front. So that's going to be the main points on the Orion 20. Again, a great bike, a solid upgrade. If you are racing, just know those couple little differences and keys on the battery technology. But again, really great price, competitive, $1,700. Does come with the 8 amp hour battery. So it is a great bike. Go ahead and let us know in the comments what you think about this bike. If there's anything else you want us to test, go ahead and follow us on Facebook and Instagram. We're always going over all these bikes. We also rent them out as well. We're mainly out here at Glen Helen in San Bernardino, Southern California. We do rent them out. So if you want to try a bike before you actually buy one, come on out. We'll rent one out for you. If there is another bike you want to see us, get our hands on and review, let us know, and we'll go ahead and get one out and we'll see what we can do. Thanks for tuning in, guys. We'll see you next time. Bye.